All right, Facebook family, what's good with everybody? How is everybody doing tonight? Let me try something. See how this thing looks about this camera, this light in my face. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody had an amazing day. I know I did. Beautiful weather here in South Louisiana. Actually had a day where I didn't have a whole lot to do, so I had a great day. Hope you all did the same. My name is Ken Lawrence, and tonight we're going to have another amazing conversation with a guy that I have so much respect for, and I'm glad to have him on my channel tonight. Man, y'all bear with me. My eyes giving me trouble, man, from this allergy or whatever else it is going on right now. But we're going to have an amazing conversation talking about money, and the name of the topic is Money Ain't Everything. Yeah, I say it ain't, but and we're going to fill in the but. We also have a couple other topics we're going to discuss tonight. So go ahead, invite friends, invite family to jump on with us tonight. Feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're on Facebook, leave a comment. Let us know who you guys are and where you're from. But in the meantime, let's get this conversation started. Let's go. So yeah, guys, we're here tonight to talk with my good friend, my mentor, Mr. Charles Ivory, $1 million producer in network marketing. He's a financial strategist and just a natural good guy, man. There's very few people that I've ever come across that I have this much respect for in and outside the business. So we're not going to be with this thing anymore. I'm going to go ahead and bring Charles up. What's going on, dude?
Hey, what's going on, Ken, man? Hey, thanks for inviting me, man. It's a pleasure to be a part of your platform, man. I see some giant checks in the background, man. You talking about money? Look like you got it all.
Got a couple of them back there, man. I got a guy that did pretty well by bringing me into the business, so I appreciate you for showing me the light when I one thing in the darkness.
Hey, my pleasure, man. So what we got to talk about today?
Man, we're gonna talk about money, man. You know, that's one of my favorite topics, man. I like giving people different perspectives about money because I know a lot of people when they think about money, all they think about is just the cash that they get from their job and things like that, and what they can actually buy with that money. But I just think that we've been kind of misled by money. That's kind of like a bro person mentality where you're thinking about getting paid on Friday and probably about Wednesday you've already spent the check that you haven't gotten yet. So I just want to talk to people tonight and show them some different things about money that they may not necessarily be thinking about. It's not about going to the mall or going on Amazon and just buying things immediately when you get this money, but we're going to show them how money can actually change their life for the better. Not the material things that depreciate the second that they buy it, but things, actual tangible steps that can change their life when it comes to their money. And I know you're the perfect man to have the conversation with.
Hey, well, I've been on both sides of the fence. Where I had no money, I had a little bit of money, and now I got a little bit more money. But yeah. So where we gonna go with it?
And don't be
I
honest,
can talk
man.
on all angles.
I'm gonna be honest, man, and maybe I'm biased, but having a little bit, having a good bit is a whole lot more fun than trying to figure out where it's coming from. I'll just be honest about
Well, I feel you on that one, Ken. I tell you, when I was growing up, money was scarce.
it. Yeah,
You know, they say money ain't everything. Money
but
can't buy happiness. Money can't buy love. But hey, money is like air. You need it.
you need it.
And without it, hey, you can potentially die. To be honest,
Yeah,
truthfully,
it it
it
can
takes
it
money
can
to buy
be rough.
food. Yeah,
That's
it
right.
takes money to put clothes on your back. It takes money to get some heat. You know, so yeah, you know, money is needed. I should
Yeah,
say is needed.
yeah, it's needed. So tonight we're gonna show people just how money can change their situation and everything. But before we get going, man, I got an article that I wanna bring up. I want to show you this article that I saw. Got it from one of my favorite websites, man. I love Market Watch. I love Market Watch, man. Can you see the article?
It's coming up. There it is.
All right,
Buy
guys. So check
smarter,
this out.
dream big.
That's it. So check it out, guys. During the pandemic, a lot of people transition into remote working, meaning that they're working from home. They're not going into the office. They have their computer or whatever they have set up in their homes, and they are working from home. And for a lot of people, they actually enjoyed it because it gave them the opportunity to not have to, save a little bit of time without having to go into the office, not being there every day, having to buy lunch and things like that, commuting back and forth to work. But study says now that remote employees are actually working less, sleeping, and playing more. Okay. Now, I'm not a genius, but I see the writing on the wall with this one. I see the writing on the wall with this one. Let's come out with a survey that says that people working from home are working less, sleeping, and playing more. That way we can start cutting these jobs and having one person doing the work or two. So let's do a brief overview of it. It says that the COVID-19 pandemic was the catalyst for a major shift in the way Americans work. And the new from them. Let's find what the part here. Where is it? It says even as the pandemic was warned, more than 15% of full-time employees remained fully remote, and an additional 30% worked in hybrid arrangements, meaning that they went into the office and they worked at home also. So Americans now spend 6 million fewer hours traveling to work every day. Okay, that kind of helped with the gas thing a little bit, if you ask me, because people wasn't buying as much gas. So in the end, just to sum this thing up, bro, what it's saying basically is that they think that people are not being as productive at home as they were in the office. So I really see a situation coming where they're going to start giving people an ultimatum: either come into the office to work, or we start downsizing. What do you think about that?
Oh, definitely can. Now, personally, I was kind of affected by that. When the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic came out, I was laid off for 90 days. It was a temporary layoff, and it was a good reason for it because I was a government employee and I worked on a military installation, and of course, we don't want to affect the fighting men and women that defend this nation. So I understood that. What I didn't understand was that they laying me off with no pay. I didn't understand that. And here's the funny thing: we had set up before we got laid off to be able to work from home. My
Mm-hmm.
job was briefing soldiers, transitional soldiers that was leaving the military, giving them their benefits. And so we was able to set up classes, do Zooms and stuff like that with the soldiers. Well, all of a sudden they decided they didn't need that, and they let us go. Well, here's what happened. They started finding out instead of having live people giving briefings that they can do videos and give soldiers videos to watch, right? So there you go. Jobs are being cut, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at the writing on the wall, Ken, people don't understand that with every convenience comes a price. I
Right.
remember in a day when you can go to Walmart and there be like 30 registers with 30 cashiers. Now, if you had a 24-hour shift and everybody's working 3 shifts, that's 90 employees, right? You go to Walmart today, there's more registers, but less cashiers.
Facts.
You got one cashier that's operating probably 10 to 12 registers. And then for the ones that has the belt, where you have a lot of groceries, they may be 2 that's running those belts. So now just think about it. Well, we had 30 people working the floor. Now we have 3 to 4. Just think about that. I go to McDonald's now and a lot of other fast food places, and there's a kiosk there.
Yeah.
Where I can order my food through the kiosk, pay for it, and then just walk up and wait for them to pass it to me over the counter. Well, that's a job that's being replaced. People don't see that, Now you go to McDonald's, the lobby is closed.
Right.
It's only the drive-through, right? Why is the lobby closed? I remember in the day, McDonald's had playgrounds and everything else. Now you got all these apps. So you got to see the writing on the wall, Ken. Companies are getting smart. They already got smart years ago when they cut the pension out and went to the 401k. They were saving money, right?
Yeah.
Now they're getting even smarter to where now they're allowing people to work from home, which means that's a brick and mortar building that they don't need to pay rent or utilities or maintenance. You know what I'm saying? So companies are now finding ways to cut back, and people don't realize that, there's a balance sheet. You either a liability, an expense, or you're an asset. And if you're working, you're a W-2 employee, you're on the expense side.
Right.
And companies are looking to cut expenses. That means you. So it's getting serious out here.
But the thing that trips me out is that when you go into your local Walmart, when you go to McDonald's, basically anywhere that you go right now, there's always a sign saying that they're hiring. But if you watch the news would tell you that unemployment is at a 30-year low.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how can both of those things be possible when we know that the restaurants, the convenience stores, the department stores, the plants, the postal service, everybody is short-staffed right now. So how can we have short staff at an all-time high on one side, and then at the same time, the federal government is saying that we're at a 30-year low when it comes to unemployment? To me, those two things can't occur at the same time.
Hey, that reminds me of the shortage of chicken wings. Somebody told me it was a shortage of chicken wings. I'm like, well, is it a shortage of chickens?
Look, that's I saw it somewhere. They said that it's a chicken wing shortage, but it's not a thigh shortage. It's not a chicken leg shortage. It's not a breast shortage. How can those two things happen if you short chicken wings, but the rest of the chicken is available? I see Jason Thomas on, and I know Jason is our food connoisseur.
Yeah,
Jason, if you can answer that question for me, put it in the chat. How can
you need to bring Jason on,
man. So, man, look, for people who are in business, we know right now that it's hard to find employees. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I own a few businesses, and I'll be the first person to tell you that at one time finding good people was hard. Right now, just finding an able body is difficult. So for those of you who actually had employees that you kept during the pandemic, first of all, God bless you for having the business to be able to maintain those employees. But right now, what we're doing, what our company is doing, is that they're offering entrepreneurs an opportunity to get federal tax credits for keeping those employees. And for those of you who don't understand, man, that's a big deal. That's like free money just for doing the right thing by your employees. So we're going to run a very quick video to show you guys how this program works. And if you're interested in finding out more about this program, which is a phenomenal program that I'm actually a part of myself, please get back with me or get back with Charles or anybody that shares this video with you, and they should be able to talk to you about this program. It's called the Employee Retention Credit, and it is a part of our membership with MWR Financial. So check this out.
For a limited time, MWR is offering employee retention credit assistance at no risk to you or upfront fees. Made possible by the government, the Employee Retention Credit implemented via the CARES Act provides reimbursements to qualifying businesses, colleges, universities, hospitals, and 501c3 organizations of up to $20,000 per employee. As an employer, if the pandemic impacted your business in any way during 2020 or 2021, you may qualify. MWR makes it simple, and it only takes a few minutes to unlock potentially thousands of dollars that do not need to be paid back to the government or any bank. MWR uses only licensed ERC tax experts specifically focused on ERC refund assistance and only charges a flat rate of just $5,000 for companies with 1 to 5 employees, plus $1,000 for each additional employee for businesses that may have more than 5 employees. Unlike most competitors that charge a massive percentage of their clients' total refund amounts. Just take a look at this example. Let's say you have 10 qualifying employees. Your possible refund amount is $260,000, which you could use to grow your business. Based on the average competitor's fees of 20%, you'll be giving away $52,000. With MWR, you'll pay only $10,000, saving you $42,000. The savings with MWR Employee Retention Credit Assistance could be enormous, and the money you never need to pay back could stay in your pocket. You can find out if you qualify for this refund in just 2 minutes, and if you do, our ERC experts will assist you with preparing all the necessary paperwork, obtain supporting documents, and file all refund requests for your business. It's just that simple. Don't wait. This opportunity is only here for a limited time and costs you absolutely nothing to get started. We only get paid when you get paid. Don't wait. This is only for a limited time. Get started today.
All right, man. Heard we had a little echo in the video, and if we did, I apologize to you guys. But look, basically what the program is that if you own a business and if you kept employees during the pandemic, the government wants to incentivize you now. They want to give you employee tax credits for holding on to those employees. So get with us. We'll give you guys a quick survey to fill out. The survey basically just gives basic information about your company, and then we'll send it to our experts. Once they see if you qualify for those tax cash credits, they'll get back in contact with you and they do everything for you. Now, what's so sweet about the way that we do it is that everything is done by experts, people who are certified in their field, but also all you do is upload documents. You don't have to worry about trying to figure out a whole lot of fancy lingo, trying to figure out what goes in what spot. Our experts do everything for you. So if you're interested in that program, get with Charles, anybody that shares the video with you, and they should be able to walk you through this easy but effective program. Charles, anything on the ERC, man?
Well, I tell you, it's a phenomenal program. And what separates us from most competitors is that we have flat rate fees. Most other companies, our competitors, they're doing percentages. And that can be pretty high. We got experts that's doing it. And basically, there's 3 questions that they asking you. 1, was you affected by the pandemic? 2, did you lose any money in any quarter of the pandemic? And 3, if you had any W-2 employees. And that can be including yourself. You know, the other thing is you can't own more than 50% of the company. Mm-hmm. If you meet those qualifications, man, it's just free money. You might as well apply for it. You know, it's a grant, so you don't have to pay it back. The experts do all the filing for you. They do everything, and you don't even pay a dime for it. And the fees come out of what you're getting back. And so I think that's great, Ken. I mean, I think everybody should do it. Everybody should at least see if they qualify.
Right. Can't hurt. It's not one of those things where you pay a consultation fee to see if you qualify, and then if you don't qualify, you've lost money. In this situation here, there's really no out-of-pocket expense percent if you qualify or not. So get back with one of us, get back with anybody, share this video with you, and we'll be more than happy to kind of navigate you through to see if you qualify for this great program, man. It's free money, really. It's free money. It's money for retaining your employees, keeping them during the pandemic. So it's a great thing. But man, let's get into the conversation. Let's get into the topic, man. Get to the topic, bro. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you, man. Money ain't everything, but, and I'm hoping that none of my English teachers are on right now, because I know it's probably not proper English, but I guess in this situation it really don't matter. So man, look, money ain't everything, but you fill in the blank.
It's necessary.
Point simple and blank. That's it.
It's needed.
Yeah.
You know, hey, they say, you know, I don't know, you know, the people that say money ain't everything, you know, money can't buy this and that. I normally hear that from people that don't have any money, you know. So, hey, I tell you, I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been where I didn't have any money. Growing up, you know, we had to take second mortgages. We were threatened to be put out. Had to figure out how to put food on the table, lights going out, you know, those type of things. I come from a time when your lights go out, you just turn them back on and put it in your child's name and mess their credit up, you know, that kind of stuff. So I got it, you know, money is needed. Money is needed, you know. I couldn't go to college because I didn't have any money, you know, so I did the next best thing and I joined the military, you know, thinking that would solve the problem. You know, at least I can, you know, keep a roof over my head and food on the table. But, you know, when you don't have the education about money, I don't care what your status is, money going to be tight. And I was still living paycheck to paycheck, and sometimes paycheck behind a paycheck, you know. So money is needed. Money is needed. Money can't buy happiness, but you can be happy with it. Money can't buy love, you know, but you can get some love.
I find, look,
let me stop.
Money can't buy love, but they say finances are one of the leading causes of divorces.
Exactly. Right. Right. So, that part, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, it's like, and I feel this way. I know people say that I'm always being negative, but, you know, man, it is what it is. I have learned that people who downplay things usually downplay things that they know that they can't attain.
That's exactly right.
Here's my point. For people who say that money's not everything and they don't need money, it's typically because they don't have any money. When you find, and don't shoot the messenger, when you find a woman that says she don't need a man, typically it's because she can't get one. When you find people who say, you know, a college education ain't nothing, typically a person who did go to college. So when you find somebody who tries to belittle any situation, is usually because the thing that they belittle is something that they know they can't attain. And it's a defense mechanism. It's something they do to make themselves feel better. But when they're to themselves, when they're in their closets, when they're in the bedrooms, and you have time to just gather your thoughts, usually those things that you say that you don't want are things that you secretly desire. You know, you see people say, you know, I don't need no friends. It's typically a person that's really lonely and wish somebody would come and talk to them and just listen to them. You know, so it's a defense mechanism. You know, I think anybody with good sense realize that, you know, money is important. Money is very important. And like when you really break it down, and this two men talking, so the conversation may be a little different for some people. But as a man, money is absolutely necessary. Money dictates the zip code you live in. The zip code that you live in usually dictates how great of an education your kids get. It also dictates how safe the neighborhood that you live in. Sometimes it dictates the people who are in your immediate network, the people who you surround yourself with. So we're not talking about going out and buying bags and expensive cars and things like that. We're talking about a lifestyle, poor lifestyle, things you should value on a daily basis. And much how well a man can provide for their family. That's beautiful. So I understand that, people would say money ain't everything. Money ain't everything. Having a job ain't everything. Having a family ain't everything. But money is a big component in everything that we do. And like I say, as a man, it's biblical. There are certain things that men have been charged with, and those require money. What do you think?
Well, Ken, just think about this, man. Money can determine life or death.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many times have you seen people needing some type of medical assistance but can't afford it?
Yeah.
And because they can't afford it, they pulling plugs.
Mm-hmm.
Are they rejecting some type of medical assistance?
Yeah.
So like I say, it's needed. It's needed. I'm broadcasting from a church, and my church folks, they always say money is the root of all evil. Well, no, it's not. They say the love of money,
Right.
love of money,
Right.
But I know some wealthy people that do some great things with money.
Mm-hmm.
Money is a tool.
True.
It's a tool to be used not only to help yourself, but to help others.
Mm-hmm.
So money is a good thing. It's not bad.
Yeah. And just like with any tool can be used for good or for evil. They say if you get a hammer, you can use a hammer to build homes for the homeless. You can use a hammer to build homes for the elderly. But you can also get that same hammer and plug somebody upside the head with them and knock them out. So
Exactly.
intent matters. Intent matters. So the tool is only as good as the person who waving the tool. So if you give money to a person that doesn't understand how money works, or a person that has sinister intentions, yeah, you can definitely do some bad things with money. But you can also put the money in the hand of a philanthropist, money in the hands of somebody who has a heart to give, and you can absolutely change somebody's life, with that money. So that's a great point that you bring up, that money is a tool. And versus looking at the money, we need to look at the person that has the money, the person that's using the money as a tool, and judge their actions and not just the tool itself.
Well said. Well said.
So yeah, man, that's something that people bring up all the time about, how money is so bad. But I'm like you. I've been on both sides of the track. I came from a family that, I'm not gonna say we were poor, but let's just say we didn't have a lot of excess. It wasn't a lot of free money going around. And to be honest with you, now that I look back over my childhood, I really have to applaud my mom and my grandmother and my aunt and my cousin for the things that they were able to do for me, because I know, just looking back, there was not a lot of money circulating, but it always felt like we never really went without. So I can't explain it. I can't explain how we made it as well as we did with the limited amount of resources that we had. But it just proves that even though they didn't have traditional education, that they actually valued a dollar a lot more than people nowadays do, because we didn't have a lot of the luxuries that a lot of people had. All of my necessities were taken care of. And becoming an adult right now, looking back, I appreciate that a whole lot more now as an adult than I probably did as a kid. So I probably need to give them all a call and tell them thank you for the things they did for me. But um, I remember those days when, as an adult, like I said, my childhood was great. I'm talking about as an adult, having my first apartment, and my first apartment note was $240 a month. And I only paid it when I got the eviction notice. If you didn't send an eviction notice, I wasn't paying it. So automatically I started off with bad spending habits. In college, had to drop out of college because I didn't have a whole lot of money, trying to take care of a family because I had a kid young. And I understand the stress of trying to figure out, if the bill gonna get paid on time, and, which bill I'm gonna pay this month, which bill I'm gonna pay next month. I know Jason and I were talking about that last week, man. I probably was the best check floater in the history of check floating. I would write that check on Friday around 3:30, and I knew I had at least until Tuesday around noon to put the money back in the bank. So, for weekend, we used to party hard, man. We would do a lot of crazy stuff on the weekend with money that we know we didn't have. So I understand how it feels to not have, to have to juggle. And then I know how it feels now to have that security of knowing that regardless of what happens, there's a plan in place. There's a strategy in place for our money. And it's an amazing feeling, man. It's you don't understand how much stress you under until you're out of it. Once you get out of that stress, then you realize just how much stress you was under. Because it was simple stuff that was stressful. Man, and I know you probably remember. Do you remember how stressful it was going to the mailbox when you know that when you open that door up, it's gonna be somebody in that envelope that needs you to make a payment because your tail is late on something.
Get them envelopes with them windows on it, right? It's funny you say that, Ken, because what it boils down to is education.
Yeah.
You got that poor man education, and then you have the wealthy man education. See, the poor man education taught you how to survive. I remember my mother sorting out bills. You had the bills that had the white letters, the blue letters, the yellow letters, and the pink letters. So that determined what you're gonna pay and how much you're gonna pay on what bill.
Preach, man.
So you get that white letter, you kind of push that to the side because we got time on that. You get that blue letter, you be like, okay, things are getting a little bit serious. I'm gonna put that in another pile, but right now we got to work on these yellows and pink letters. I make her put a little bit on the blue letter, but I gotta concentrate on that pink one right now because that pink letter is serious. You know what I'm saying? See, that's that poor man education. See, that poor man education taught you that, hey, I can write this check on Friday, and I know it got to take 3 days to clear, even though I don't have the money, but I got 3 days to get the money to put it into the bank before, the check clear. You was talking about floating check, right?
Yeah.
See, that's an education. And see, that's the education that we learn, that education that, hey, the lights go out, but hey, we just need another social security number and we can turn the lights back on. You know what I'm saying?
Got bad credit before you even got a job, man.
Yeah, you bad credit at 10 years old. Then I remember, Ken, back in 2017 when the government first shut down. The government shut down for 31 days, Ken, and America lost their mind. There were people that was earning 6 figures that couldn't pay their mortgages, couldn't feed their family because they had missed a check. Because they missed one check, and actually because it was 31 days, they probably missed 2. Mm-hmm. Because they missed one check, it threw them backwards. Well, see, they never had that poor man education, so they didn't know what to do. So they were panicking. I saw 6-figure earners in the soup line picking cans up. There's an article about Silicon Valley with all these educated people with master degrees that was suffering because of a 31-day shutdown.
Yeah.
That let me know that it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. And what type of financial education do you have? Do you have the education to put away 6 to 9 months for an emergency fund? Do you have a mini emergency fund in case you've been a rim on your tire, right? I know you know about that, right? Or your air conditioning go out. Do you have that $3,000? I know Jason Thomas moved to Texas and had to come out of pocket to stay at hotels, you know. So you know, but what type of education? So money is necessary, but education is needed.
Right.
And we need to have more education about money, how to make it, how to keep it, you know, how to grow it. You know, we need more education. See, we didn't talk about money growing up because we didn't have any,
Right.
you know. But now I'm having conversations with a 4-year-old, you know, hey, here's some change, put it in your bank. And when you get $5, you know, we can now, you know, spend $3, you know, and get you something. We get $20, you know, we're gonna put 10 away. You know, he has a private reserve account. He has a business actually. You know, he earns 600, you know. Well, we're gonna invest 500 and we're gonna keep 100, you know. So it's a conversation that I'm having with a 4-year-old, but it's developing his mindset early.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's missing in today's home. And that's the one thing that I love about MWR Financial is not only that the experts do all the work, but it connects you to a different circle.
Definitely.
And when you connect it into a different circle, you know, my mentor told me that wealthy people don't change their conversation just because you stepped into the room. You know, so they still going to talk. You just need to listen.
Yeah.
You know, and when you hang around people that are doing certain things, it's almost like default that you're going to start doing those same things. You know, you become a product of your environment. You know,
Definitely.
that's why, you know, it's hard for somebody that grew in a drug infested neighborhood to not become a drug dealer or a drug user. You know, it's hard. You know, people do come out by the grace of God, but that's not the norm.
Right.
You know, so again, money ain't everything, but it's necessary.
Yeah, I think you hit on something right there when you said that, you know, even conversations you have when you surround yourself with people who, you know, who are financially astute, you know, who have ends, who have the means to do things, the conversation is different. And you know, it's not to belittle anybody or anything like that, but you know, typically when you find low income conversations, you know, typically it's those despair type conversations. You know, it's those conversations about what you don't have and what you don't need and things like that, and that, you know, who's gonna come and save you and things like that. When you're around people who actually have things, man, it's hope. You know, the conversation is always about what we can, what we're gonna do, what we're looking forward to, versus what we can't do, what we're not gonna do, and who's gonna help us. It's a totally different mindset. You know, I firmly believe that before you go anywhere, and the Bible talks about that too, talks about the vision. You know, about the people have to have a vision. Not saying that you can't, but it's hard to have a big vision when everything around you is in despair. You
Yeah.
know, so sometimes it's good to just have those people around you, man, who, you know, who can encourage you, who can show you the way. You know, with the circle that we're in right now, honestly, it's kind of hard for us to think about things that we can't do. It's kind of hard for us to have that mindset that, you know, we're going to be short when it comes to money, or, you know, that we have to, you know, we have to live a life, a sparingly life where we can't enjoy ourselves. You know, we've learned how we can enjoy ourselves and at the same time prepare for the future, because you know, we know that, like you say, money is a resource, is a tool. And as long as you have access to it and know how to properly maneuver it, you always feel like that there's more of it coming in. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we, Charles and I did is that we joined the business. It's a business opportunity that we became a part of called MWR Financial. And ironically, the MWR actually stands for Make Wealth Real. You know, it's a cliche. And in the beginning, when I first heard it, I thought it was kind of ironic. I thought it was catchy, but I said, man, let's see what it's really about. So basically, what our company does is that we do two things very, very well. We teach you the literacy part of the money. We teach you how to make, save, and grow your money, because like Charles said, it is something that you have to learn. It's a mindset, it's a skill set that you have to learn to figure out how to make, save, and grow your money. But we don't leave that up to you. We understand it's a process. Nobody's going to come into this thing and learn everything that they need to learn about their finances overnight. So we actually have financial experts that do all the work for you. And all you have to do is just upload documents the same way that you would upload a photo to social media for your friends to like. You do the same thing with your documents. So what documents am I talking about? Well, like number one, we help you to lower your taxes. And that may not sound like a big deal, but I guarantee if you sit down and think about it, you spend more money on taxes than anything else that you have. Taxes is your number one expense. It's not your house, anything like that. It's your taxes. So if you are trying to get your finances in order, naturally, if you start with your biggest expense, everything from there goes downhill. So we're going to get with some financial experts, and they're actually going to help you lower your taxes legally, morally, and ethically using your check stubs and correcting your W-4. Okay, all you do is wait. Once you upload your documents, send your W-4 into your employer, and typically you will get an increase in your paycheck on the next paycheck. That's free money back into your home right there. So Charles, I know you did it. I know you had great results when you did it. How did it work for you?
Hey man, amazing, man. You know, just that one strategy alone can change my whole life. You know, it seemed like it was such a small task. One, I didn't know the power of the W-4. Never read it, you know, just signed my name, put my address on, and turned it in. But when those experts adjusted my W-4, it instantly gave me a $600 pay raise. Now, I've been working with this company, my previous company, which was, I was a VA benefit advisor. I was there for 7 years. And I don't think in 7 years I got a pay raise of $3. $3. I don't think I've increased my pay $3. And instantly I get a $600 pay raise just by changing some numbers. Shared that with my wife. She got $800. That was $1,400 that came back into our household just by having experts show us how to adjust our W-4. And then it just became a snowball effect after that, man. We took that additional money, paid off $80,000 worth of credit card debt. Debt went down, scores went up, refinanced our home, went from a 5.7 to a 2.3, put more money back into our pocket, was able to pay the house off in 14 years, 16 years early, saving $300,000. Took that money, invested in property in California, private reserve account, became our own bank. You know, it just went on and on and on and on. And the snowball is steady growing.
Yeah.
Steady growing. Just sharing the information, Ken, it comes with a heavy compensation plan, you know, and this company pays up to $8,500 a day, every day, including Sundays and holidays. Those are days too, you know. Ken, man, we talking about money, man. I saw Anthony Moore out there, you know, he talking about them 7-figure conversations be different, you know. Man, you know, it would have been good if he'd have hopped on with us, you know.
Boom, how about that?
There he is. What up, boy?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Going on,
hey? We speaking your language.
Yeah, man. I saw that, man. I was on YouTube. I said, man, them 7-figure conversations be different.
Yeah. Man, it's good to see you, bro.
Absolutely, man. You guys are definitely up here rocking the mic, man, educating people, and that's absolutely what it's all about. Charles, you know, I came from Georgia, man. I'm out here in Kentucky. I finally got settled, doing my job and everything here, man. So, you know, I'm back in the fight hard now, man. It's time to go. It's a lot of people out here. We trying to change their lives out here in Kentucky as well. So definitely.
I know you got the gift of the gab to make it happen.
Oh yeah, man, for sure, man. But I heard you guys talking about that W-4 form, so you know I gotta chime in on that one.
What it do for you, bro?
So speak on it.
Well, look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. And we talking 3 years ago. You know what I mean? I adjusted my W-4. I got an instant $764 back into my paycheck every month, right? And that's just with the current rank that I had at the time. For those who don't know me, you know, I'm in the United States military. I'm in the Army, right? I was a W-01. But here's the thing, Charles, and I was just talking to somebody about this earlier today, man. You know, I just got selected for the next rank as W-3.
Hey,
And we all,
Congratulations.
hey, appreciate it, man. But we all know the more money you make, guess what? The more Uncle Sam take.
That's it.
Right? So it's going to look like a pay raise for me, but it won't truly be a pay raise until I go back and revisit that W-4 form. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, we looking at 764, man. I'm looking at probably about $1,000 now coming back into my household. You know, still paying that 18 to 23%, right? Getting that pay raise from my current job. But because of the strategies and because of the experts, man, and the way that they taught us how to do it, now I'm able to bring in an additional $1,000. And for those who don't know, man, you know, I've already invested, man, got a daycare up and running out in Clarksville, Tennessee. So I plan to take that $1,000 and just continue to invest in that. I'm looking to expand a little bit now. And one of the things that they taught us a long time ago, man, was cash, asset, cash. It means a lot. You know what I mean? Being able to take that cash over the course of the years, man. And, you know, I like to say buy, build, or grow an asset. But it was something truly that my friend and I, man, we was real interested in that. You know, she had the certification and guess what? I had the money. So we put 2 and 2 together, man, and we got that daycare. And I just plan to take that money and just keep expanding, man. You know, have a tiny scholars academy in all 50 states.
Well, that's good. But you know, and you kind of hopped on my point when I was talking about education and circles. You know, Ken, what you don't know, man, Anthony is a good poker player, man. Yeah. I remember when I first met Anthony. We was at the NCO club.
Yep.
And I was pitching this thing to Anthony, man. He had no expression. Man, I'm giving my best pitch, man. You know, he ain't grinning or nothing. It's like he had no emotions. And I'm like, I know this stuff is good, man. Come on. You know. So, you know, I'll never forget that, you know, and then he finally partnered up with me. But, you know, I said, man, he had a good poker face. I ain't, you know, he had me working hard trying to explain this thing. I'm like, bro, you don't get it, you know?
Yeah, that's what they say right now in the maintenance meetings.
Yeah.
But look, it was 6 months. It was 6 months running, Charles. I ran 6 months from you, man.
Yeah.
And when I finally sat down with you, man, and you know, I think the thing with that right there, man, I think I really beat myself up because I realized how much money I left on the table within 6 months.
Well, let me tell you something, and I think 6 months runners are winners, man, because I ran from Corey Briggs about 6 months. Jason Thomas, man, ran from Clovell Oliphant for about 6 months. And even Ken Lawrence, man, it took about 6 months. I don't know something about that number 6,
man. You in good company. If running was a group, man, we'll be a hell of a group because I think we all ran at one point in time.
Right.
Yeah. But you know, good things come to those who wait, and I'm pretty sure some more people out there running, and you know, we're gonna give them time. They gonna catch up, and when they do catch up, I'm pretty sure, like the rest of us, they gonna take off and be superstars.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's one facet of what our business does. You know, that's one facet. Just the tax minimization is just one facet of it. The thing that that's most attractive to most people, I understand why, but once we get into the business, you understand that it's not the biggest facet of it. Is the fact that when you join our membership, the credit repair asset part of it is actually free. So we don't charge you a dime to repair your credit. And it's not, we're going to send you templates to fill out where you got to send things back and forth to the credit bureaus and things like that. Once again, it's a simple upload. You get your credit reports, you upload them into your system because you're going to have your own portal. And all you do is sit back and wait 30 to 45 days, and you're going to get results from the credit bureaus on what they're acting on your behalf. Now, for me, I told y'all earlier, man, I paid the bill when the disconnect notice came, when the eviction notice was put on the door. So I've never been one to pay bills on time. It wasn't because, well, in the beginning, it was because I didn't have the money. As I got older and I started getting the money, it was just simply that I just didn't pay it. Not that I didn't have it, not that I didn't know it needed to be paid. I just simply was too lazy to do it. You know, so as a result of that, my credit suffered. I mean, like I was low 400s at one time. So when I joined this business, all I did was just simply upload my credit reports to the experts. Every 30, 45 days, every 30, 45 days, I started getting results. Little bit by little bit, little bit by little bit. As I started to learn how credit works through the financial literacy part of it, now I learned what I had to do on my end. Because see, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, what they don't tell you about credit. They will tell you that they will get anything derogatory off of your credit. Number one, they can't promise you that. They have no clue what the bureaus are going to let them do. And number two, and most importantly, is that if they take everything off of your credit will still be bad because you got to have something positive on there. So our company actually gives you different avenues that you can take to actually start adding positive entries on your credit score. All the bad stuff goes away as legally as possible. Everything is above board. And we're also adding positive notions on your credit too. Your credit score starts to go up. My credit score right now, I'm almost there. I'm like at a 795. I'm like 5 points away from the 800 club. And I'm telling you, man, it's different. It's different. I remember going into car dealerships and praying that I qualified for something. And then when you did qualify for something, they would point you over in that corner where these are the cars you have to choose from. I remember those days. Now I go into the dealership, I go in there cocky. Not only am I going to get what I want, I'm already qualified. I already have my interest rate. And if you choose to run my credit again, you guys show me something that blows me away for me to even select what you want. I can go to different car lots and kind of pin them against each other. They gave me this price. They gave me this price. Who wants this more? Right. Credit card offers. We talked about going to the mailbox. I go to the mailbox now. I know ain't but one or two things in there: either more credit or a check. Those are the only two options. I don't owe nobody nothing.
I love it.
It's different, man. It's different. And
conversation different, man. You get to go back there in the back. You get peanuts and ginger ale.
Yeah. Look, you do like Charles, man. Charles don't even go to the finance man. He don't even know the finance manager.
Hey man, you know the good thing about our credit repair system too, man. You know, like you were saying, we do more than just restore your credit. We help you build it. You know, we got credit rebuilder tools in the back office as well, you know, to where you can even, you know, add your rent and track the rent that you pay, your cell phone, certain bills that you pay. We have a way to track that and get it added to your credit report, you know. So, you know, we kind of burn the candles on both ends of the stick. And, you know, I like the idea that it's free, because we can't promise you anything without, you know, can't charge you for services unrendered. So our company understands that, you know, in order to make wealth real, and if we're going to help give you a financial makeover, that credit is important. You know, they say cash is king, but credit rules the kingdom. You know, you can have as much money as you want, but, you know, if you don't have good credit, you can't rent an apartment. You can't get a loan. You can't rent a car, Ken. You know, I tried one time to rent a car with cash. You know, had the money to pay the insurance, had the money to purchase the car, prepay the gas. Can't do none of that without credit. Yeah. You know, so it's very important. It's very important, and I'm glad that's something that we provide for our people. You know, we talked about paying them bills, man. We got bill negotiation too, as a service. You know, to where, you know, if you're gonna pay the bill, why not pay less? Right. And increase your cash flow, you know. So MWR is really truly making wealth real. You know, I'm a living witness.
I didn't know that your credit score actually dictates the amount that you pay on your insurance. You know, it took me a while to come to that realization that if you have good credit, your insurance premiums are a lot cheaper.
Well, you know, credit can even affect you getting jobs now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can affect you whether you qualify for a job or not. Credit is very important.
Yeah.
And that's probably why it's probably one of our most attractive features of the company, and we give it for free. But people got to understand, again, it starts with the taxes. That's your number one expense. That's your number one expense.
Yeah, it's hard to get people to understand that. And the way that I explain it is this, that a lot of people look at credit as the disease. You know, having bad credit is the disease. Now, having bad credit is just a symptom. Because if you had money, if you had extra cash flow, if you had financial education, if you knew how money worked, then you wouldn't be default on your bills and you wouldn't have a credit problem. So whether we want to admit it or not, if you have bad credit, it's one or two things that's there. Either you don't have the money or you don't understand how money works. Our business actually remedies both of those for you. We help give you more money, but at the same time, we teach you how to make, save, and grow that money. A lot of people want to invest. It's trendy. Everybody wants to invest. Everybody looks at the market and see people trading and things like that. They hear about crypto. So a lot of people want to invest. There's only one problem. Well, there's two problems. Problem number one, you don't understand what to invest in. And problem number two, you don't have any free income to invest.
Cash flow.
Once again, our company remedies both of those problems. Before you even go out and introduce this business to anybody, the experts are going to get more money back into your pocket. And once you start getting that extra money and show yourself worthy, then we're actually going to show you and give you multiple avenues to invest that money with no risk of loss. And there's no stock market investment that can promise you that. Trust me, there's no stock market investment that's foolproof. There are a couple of them that if you look at the trends over the past 15 to 20 years that they've grown. But the stock market is showing you right now that there is no foolproof stock. And I tell you this, I would tell people this, don't invest in traditional stock if you are not willing and able to take a loss. But the reason why I know most people are not prepared to invest is that most people don't even have an emergency fund set up. So our company remedies all of those problems, guys. We lower your taxes. We help you get your credit situation squared away. We help you keep records, which is so important right now. When it came to PPP loans, when it comes to this ERC, all of those things that you need for the federal government when it comes to giving incentives to them, they want to see your records. They want to see what you're spending your money on. Getting out of debt, we help you with that. Investing, we help you with that. Lowering your bills, we help you with all that. All of that is included in one membership that you can actually pay for, and it costs less than a cup of coffee a day.
That's powerful. You know the thing that I love about our investment products the most is that is zero loss, zero risk of loss.
Yeah.
You know, we're investing in land, and we have a product called a private reserve account, you know, which is not really tied to the stock market as it starts to drop. It only goes up with the gains of the market. So whatever you put in there is safe, it's locked, you know, it never goes down. So our company never put your money at risk, you know. So this is really, Ken, what we call a true investment. Sure. You know, the biggest investment is in yourself. So if you decide to partner with us, and anytime and I would say invest with us, everybody that invests expect a rate of return.
Absolutely.
And I told you, my first rate of return was $600 in the instant pay raise. Mm-hmm. You know, and just told you his story. That's the first rate of return on your investment, and it comes within 10 to 14 days for most people.
Right.
You ain't got to wait till next year. It comes within 10 to 14 days for most people. That's your first rate of return. Now your business is self-funded. And like they say in Vegas, we playing on house money now.
House money.
Literally house, right?
And that's good. You guys said that too, man, because
Yeah.
that's what I love about the private reserve account. You know, being able to put your money in that right there. One of the examples I like to use, you know, and we talked about this a while ago, Charles. You know, a private reserve account is like an insurance instrument with no loss provision.
Right.
So, guys, your money doesn't ride up and down with the volatility of the stock market, and that's what I love about this company. Being able to put your money in there, like let's say you had 80,000 and you wanted to take out 20,000 to purchase your son or your daughter a car. Well, that money is still compounding as if the 80,000 is there, and that's what I love about this company. That's what I love about a PRA account, and I'm glad you guys talked about that. That's very important.
Yeah, I'm actually about to sign my kids up with one. I have a 12-year-old son and a 5-year-old son. And we talk about generational wealth all the time. It's another one of those catchphrases that everybody likes to use. But it's hard to talk about generational wealth and be sincere about it if you live in poverty currently. So you can't do something in the future without taking care of what you got going on currently.
Mm.
You know, so if your finances are not where they need to be right now, you know, it's hard for you to actually plan something for the future. You can't take care of tomorrow if you don't get past today first. So our membership, it has something laid out for everybody. I want to get both of my boys a PRA so that when they get out of high school, they have a decision that they can make. Because I think that the thing that wealthy people have are options. I think that's the most powerful thing that you can have is options. College is not for everybody. Do I want my kids to go to college? Absolutely. I want them to be able to go to college and experience college, you know, learn how to mix and mingle with other people and things like that. But if they decide that they do not want to go to college, why send them to college to waste my money, number one? And as a dad, I think it's my responsibility to give them a situation to where they can step into a situation that's good for them without having to go to college. Because we've been sold that lie too, that if you go to college, everything's going to be bright and dandy on the other side of it. But I know a lot of people who go to college, the only thing they get from college is just 4 years of debt.
Right.
Not everybody. And we talked about that. I think our education institutions do a real poor job of teaching kids how to select their major. You know, they need some guidance when it comes to selecting their major. But I want my kids to have an option. If they want to go to school, great. If they don't, they got some money that they can make some decisions by. You know, but
and I think that's good, King. I think that's good, man. That's you. It's safe to say, you know, that you gave them a head start on life. You know, after they graduate high school, because I tell my kids that all the time too. You know, I don't bash college, but I do tell them if there's something they want to major in, make sure that it's something that they can have ownership.
Sure.
You know, their own practice. You know, and that's okay. But, you know, I know a lot of my family, I know a lot of friends, man, that went to college for 4 years and they're home noontime eating cereal on the couch, you know, for that promising job that they wanted. So that's very important as well, man.
Yeah, working a job that they probably could have gotten without the degree.
Absolutely.
Or some situations, underemployed and things like that. You know, a lot of people even have the problem of, you know, not even making enough to be able to pay for the student loans that they had. You know, thank God there's some type of loan forgiveness going around right now, and I hope that actually passes and helps a lot of people. But it goes back to what Charles talked about earlier. It goes back to education, and the best education you can get sometimes is life education. It's real world education. You know, so learning about this money, man, learning about these different types of investment tools that we have that have no risk of loss. You know, learning how to make and save and grow your money, teaching your kids about this type of stuff and put them in position to where, you know, they won't have to make some of the same mistakes that we made along the way. All that's important. And, you know, I thank God for, you know, the circle that I'm in with you guys and the business opportunities that we have and the different strategies we have that we can implement in our lives, man. And it's just a blessing to be able to go out and talk to other people, you know, logically and have, you know, statistics and facts to back up the things that we talk about, you know, that we can show people that, you know, poverty is a choice. You know, poverty is a choice, man. You know, if you have a strong desire to get on the other side of money, it's absolutely a possibility. But the thing that you have to do is just wake up and decide that enough is enough and that you are ready to make some changes in your life.
Right.
I'm a firm believer in this, and nobody can teach me different. I think that a lot of people don't succeed not because of a lack of opportunity. It's mainly because they lack the initiative to do something different. They lack the initiative to be uncomfortable. But what they fail to realize is that staying in a situation that does not allow you to grow is still uncomfortable. It's a different type of uncomfortable. I would much rather be uncomfortable and growing than uncomfortable and dying. And if you're not growing, you're dying.
Man, that's powerful, man. You know, my hat goes out to you gentlemen, man. Just hearing you talk about your kids, man, and I gotta give a shout out, man, to Brian Bean, man, you know, founder of the Extra Digit movement. You know, when you started talking about your kids, man, giving freedom, options, and choices, you know, it goes back again to what I was saying about the circle. You know, the people that you hang around with, man. You know, I see Derek Ray online, man. Derek has put his kids in position of wealth to grow. You know, he has a daughter and a son that I know that took part in the business, got private reserve account. I know his daughter paid off her college. Son, you know, Anthony, you doing some things with your kids, and Ken, you was talking about yours, and I opened up a private reserve account, you know, for my kid too, you know, basically because again, education, man. You know, Brian, you know, put out the Banker's Secret, you know, understanding compound interest. You know, that was big for me. You know, that was big for me. And so, you know, I know in his training, he starts off at 20 years old. So, you know, I think my son will be real good starting off
ahead of the game.
Start off at 3, right? So, man, it's all about freedom, options, and choices, man. And I saw what he did with his son, you know, traveling. His son just recently graduated and had the opportunity, you know, had choices, you know, whether he wanted to go to college or get a job or just run the family business. You know, he's actually running the family business because he's the heir to Bean Acres, right? So, you know, I love that. And so, you know, my hat just goes out to you guys, man, for just taking care of your kids. You know, we need a lot of guys, a lot of men that look like us to really, you know, give their kids a head start. Like Anthony said, you know, give them a head start.
Yeah, man. Teach them how to own 2 bikes, one to ride and the other one to rent.
There you go. There you go.
So look, folks, we're a little over an hour right now, man. Trust me, we literally could have this conversation all night. Like time stands still when you're talking to people who you enjoy talking to about topics that you actually enjoy being a part of. So we could talk about this thing all night. But what we want to do is that we want to include you guys in this conversation. What we want to do, we want to invite you guys to join our exclusive invitation only group where we actually show you and help you implement everything we talked about tonight. We help you with the taxes. We help you with the credit. Help you with your record keeping, your debt elimination. We help you with your bill negotiation. We help you with investment opportunities. The experts do it all for you. The hardest thing that you have to do is make the decision that you want to do better. And I promise you, you're going to be surrounded by people like us who talk about money quite often. And we want to learn as much as we can about it. And we want to put everybody on the path to financial freedom. So if something that you heard today actually entices you to want to take action, look, get back with someone who shared this video with you, and they'll be able to help you with the next steps as far as getting on the path to financial freedom. I promise you guys, man, it's different. It's different. You really don't understand how much stress you're under when it comes to your finances until that burden of stress is no longer on your shoulder. And I commend people who are fighting a good fight, people who's actually underwater right now but still trying. I understand because I've been there. And it wasn't too long ago that I was there. But I'm telling you, life is so much better when you can focus on things other than trying to figure out how you're gonna make it to your next paycheck. You know, I'm not super religious. I think I'm spiritual, but I don't think that the man that we worshipped put us here to be miserable. I don't think he put us here to be stressed out about money. I don't think he put us here to have to figure out how we're going to take care of our family. You know, the Bible talks about how the God gave us the ability to create wealth. The ability. Didn't say it would be easy. Didn't say it would be right there in front of us. But he said that he would give us the ability to do it. And sometimes the ability is just to step out on faith. We talk about mustard seed faith too. I do sound kind of religious right now that I think about it. But
so you've been around that Bible a little bit, huh?
Been around it quite a bit, man. You know, the pages of mine kind of highlighted and wrinkled a little bit. So I know a little bit about it. I know what I know in there. You know, and you know the thing about life, man, life, you know, when you read something and then you live it, it kind of sticks with you.
Absolutely.
You know, so all the things that my grandmother instilled in me about the Bible and about God and about money, man, you know, you heard it and you didn't hear it, but then when you started living it, it all made sense to you. You know, so I just want to be, you know, and I really think that's my life's calling at this point. I think my calling is to show people that, like you say, Charles, wealth is possible. Doesn't mean that you're going to be rich. Doesn't mean that you'll be able to go out and splurge and just spend anything that you want to spend. But for some people, when it comes to financial success, it's having all your bills paid. It's being able to take a vacation once a year. You know, it's being able to, you know, to leave an inheritance for your kids or to save them, to start them a savings account. It's different for everybody. Only you know what your financial goals are.
Yeah.
Our job is just simply to give you a tool, as we talked about earlier, the tool to make those things happen and to have the backing of experts, not somebody who is just going to tell you what they think, not somebody that read a book and they kind of remember something that was on chapter 2 on page 10. These are people who are credentialed in what they do. They are the absolute best of the best. And their whole purpose for being there is to help you get where you want to go financially. So if you heard anything that interests you remotely, even if you don't understand it, if you don't get it completely, get with somebody that understands it a little bit better than you do. Get with the person that shared this video with you and let them help you get on the path to financial freedom. Anything in closing, Anthony?
Nah, man. I appreciate the time, gentlemen. Hey, Charles, thanks a lot for the invite, man. I was checking y'all out. Look, I was so happy, man. And then I got the message like to come on, but I appreciate the time, man. Both of you guys always dropping nuggets, man. And guys, just listen to what Charles and Ken both was saying. Myself, you know, don't look, if what you've been doing for the last 3, 4, actually, I'm gonna take it back. If what you've been doing for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years haven't been working, guys, don't be afraid to try something different.
Right.
Okay, Charles, like he said, man, he hounded me down for 6 months. I think I was more so upset than anything because I looked at all the money that I left on the table within those 6 months because I didn't take the time out to listen. If you're struggling financially, it's okay. Because guess what? We got the experts right in place that's going to help you get to the next level financially. I appreciate the time, guys. Much love. And once again, if it's something that you're interested in, get back with either one of us. You know, get with us, and I promise you guys, we'll get you off to a fast start.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for hopping on, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
And I'll see you guys at the top, man. Because guess what? The bottom way too crowded.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, gentlemen.
All right, man. Good night. Anything in closing, man?
Hey, man, I want to give a shout out, man, to Brian T. House, man, for making this stuff possible, man. You know, he's the CEO and founder of MWR Financial. You know, God-fearing man, and I just really appreciate him putting a company together to try to bridge the gap between the poor, middle, and the wealthy class. You know, so I owe him everything. You know, between him and Brian Bean, B&B, right? You know, so the two Brians, man, you know, shout out to both of them. I love them. I appreciate them. You know, I can't exit without, giving them some love, man. But Ken, like always, man, you do a bang up job, hosting these shows, man. You really got a talent for this, man. You need to go prime time.
I'm just trying to get consistent, man. I am not one who makes a lot of excuses. And if there's anybody in the world that understands my schedule, it probably would be you outside of the people in my house that understands my schedule. I put it down pretty hard, but doing these calls, man, doing these YouTube shows is something that I've said I wanted to do for a while. I actually enjoy doing it. It brings me peace. I think it brings me a little bit closer to my calling. And I'm definitely going to become more consistent with doing them. I'm 2 for 2. I did one last week. Shout out to Niqua and Jason. I'm doing one this week. And, hopefully I can keep it going every week. I can't promise to do it on the same day every week, but I definitely want to do at least one a week. And probably going to start just doing some Facebook lives and things like that where, I can talk to the people, in different areas. Maybe I be in my car or doing my walk or whatever. But I just want to get the message out, man. I want to get the message out, and I want people to understand there's hope, and I want to thank you publicly for, all the things that you've done for me. Like we talked about earlier, I ran from this myself. I thought I had everything figured out. I thought life couldn't get any better than it was. And you never know. There's a such thing as direct blessings and indirect blessings. And the direct blessing is when you benefit from something tangible in that moment. And with the business that you invited me to be a part of, I've definitely blessed tangibly from it. But new business opportunities, increased income, the opportunity to travel this country doing the things that I love to do, the opportunity to speak on stages in Atlanta and New York and Vegas, all things that I never thought were possible, man. Having a business now that's doing sales internationally, all of that is because, I ran, but you wouldn't let me run too fast to get away from you.
Yeah.
So I've never had the opportunity to thank you publicly, man, but I want to thank you for not giving up. Like you say, even when I brought God into it, you still didn't give up on me. inside joke, y'all. But I appreciate it, man. My life is better because you didn't give up on me. And like I told you, man, even when those things get rough, man, I promise not to let you down. I promise to make you proud for keeping the faith in me.
Hey, I appreciate you, Ken, man. You got a future in this, man. Nick Cannon need to slide over.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and shut it down for this week. Look, if you guys have any topics that you want us to discuss as it pertains to finances and income, maybe the stock market and things like that, go ahead and hit me up on YouTube. You can hit me up on Facebook. I'm Ken Lawrence on Facebook. I don't know what I am on Instagram. I don't think I have a Twitter account. So if you're going to hit me, you're going to have to hit me on Facebook at Ken Lawrence. And we'll try to do a conversation about the topics that you guys want to discuss. So once again, guys, if you're ready to do better, if you're ready to surround yourself with some people who are going to do everything in their power to help you get where you want to go financially, man, get back with the person that shared this video with you. You'll have access to them. You'll have access to myself. You have access to Charles. You have access to Brian Bean, who we talked about, our great CEO and founder, Mr. Brian Howe, our president, Mr. Ndamo Tosin, and importantly, you'll have access, as Dion said, to those darn experts. You'll have access to those experts. And I promise you, when them experts getting your money, man, it hit different. So if we don't have anything else, man, we're going to go ahead and bid everybody a good night, man. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next call. Please like, comment, and share on this screen. The more you guys comment, the more you send this out, the likes, the comments, it messes with the algorithm so more people can see it. We want to get this message out to as many people as possible. So please help us with some comments and some likes and some shares. And we'll keep doing this thing until we can help get our community where they want to be financially, man. I love y'all like play cousins, and we'll see you guys on the next call. Peace.